And we're live. Hey everyone, welcome back to Nothing Nerdy. I am here again this week with the Inspector Who Reacts. Hello, Inspector.
Uh,
So this week we are discussing the movies Captain Marvel and Ant-Man. Not to be confused with Ant-Man and the Wasp, the more
yeah,
recent one. We're going a little out of order.
yeah.
Um,
I pulled I pulled an origin story movie back a little bit
mhm.
to kind of, but also there's gonna be some since Captain Marvel's a prequel, it's gonna kind of basically watching episode one before watching episode four. Some things that will be explained later will make more sense,
Mhm.
kind of.
Yeah, going in this order, I feel like has been fine. Like everything seems to flow really well. So it's been working for me. So. Um, But yeah, so I watched Captain Marvel first. I watched that yesterday, and then this morning I watched Ant Man.
Yeah.
Uh, Audio sounds good. Yay! Finally,
So
don't jinx it.
so I guess before we get started, I guess we should say what would you rate these two movies? Like, which one did you like more? And what rating would you give them?
Okay. Um. All right. I'll give Captain Marvel, a 5 out of 10, and Ant Man 6.5 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 7 necessarily, but I don't think it's like as bad. It wasn't as bad as Captain Marvel. I'll go with 6. So 5 for Marvel, 6.5 for Ant Man.
Yeah,
Captain Spike, hello, and hello, MXC. Um. Okay, yeah, I liked Ant Man better than Captain Marvel, just comparing the two, like out of the two of them. Um,
yeah,
but I can see why. But so they're like not even close to being my favorite so far, and I know other people have said the same thing. And so when
yeah.
I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, I can see why people don't really like them that much. And they both had their pros and their cons. Um, yeah, they're just okay. They weren't spectacular. They weren't like nearly as
Yeah.
good as the other ones.
Ant-Man's
Um,
on the smaller side of movies.
yeah, yeah. Um, Ant Man is funnier. I
Yeah.
felt like okay, so I watched Captain Marvel first. So I feel
So
like with this movie, I feel like the plot was really good. Like it was a really good story. It just wasn't executed very well.
yeah,
I just so so first I forgot I remember you guys had said this, but I had forgotten initially that this movie took place in the 80s. So I had forgotten that initially.
yeah.
So when I was first watching it, um, it
Hello,
was
Madigan.
like she's got a lot to say. Um, when I was watching it, I was like, why is this so weird? It just doesn't. You know what it reminded me of? I don't know if any of you have ever watched Mystery Science Theater 3000. You've never.
No, actually,
You would love it. Okay.
I
Well, Blockbuster is what gave it away. Once she got there, I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's right. They said it took place. You know.
yeah. We started in space, in
Yeah. So so I couldn't really tell when they were in space, but yet it was that type of movie. It was like a movie you would see in like the 80s or the 70s, or like it was filmed that way. I
yeah,
guess they obviously did it intentionally, which I think was a big mistake. So you've seen Mystery Science Theater 3000. So that's what this movie reminds me of. This reminded me of those old space. There were like a couple space movies. I think it just reminded me of one of those really old bad movies with a turkey rating
mm,
that you just they would just well basically what it is it's these guys in outer space that make fun of movies. Like you just kind of see their silhouette.
wait. Is it the little like the puppets? Like there's two puppets and a guy like watching the
It's
sitting
yeah,
in
the
a
guy and
theater.
his robots, and they're in a spaceship, and they make fun of all different movies.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I've not
Okay.
seen them like, fully, but I know what you're talking about now.
Okay. So this is like the type of movie they would watch.
Yeah,
Steve Shaw, hey, how are you?
like the
Um,
one like I remember the one with like Gamera and like the turtle that's like doing like gymnastics. Like, it's how weird this movie is.
it was so yeah, so that's kind of what that made me think of. I used to watch it with my brother all the
So,
time. Yeah, I grew up
so
watching it.
like, so you think Captain Marvel is a movie that they would sit down and talk about? Like, it's like,
Yeah, but it also looked like those old cheesy bad movies that they were filmed that way. They were just I don't know. Um, the jokes are corny, but their timing is great. um, Ant Man was good. I did enjoy it. Um, so
yeah.
yeah, so it was a really
Let's go,
weird
right?
space
Yeah, let's
80s.
get it.
What's that? Um,
I was just gonna say, I'm excited to talk about Ant-Man, but we'll get to Captain Marvel first.
Yeah, we'll get through this first. So you know you see her in the beginning in outer space or whatever. You know that was all really weird. Now that whole part reminded me of a little bit of Thor, the beginning of Thor.
Mhm.
It's the only other Marvel movie so far that I've seen where they kind of it doesn't start on Earth. It takes place in
Yeah.
another. For Thor, it was like
Yeah.
another realm. This is another planet. Um,
Mhm.
Now, I feel like if you're going to start a movie somewhere other than Earth, you have to give people a reason to care about it. You know what I mean? Like, you need to pull people in to be invested in this new.
You need the George Lucas space crawl, or like kind of this.
Well, that
just
kind of pulls
throw
you in. Yeah, I think with Thor, people were pulled in because a lot of people knew about that mythology or whatever it's called. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
So, and I
Already
didn't.
kind of.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it, so I couldn't get pulled into it. So I had no reason to get sucked into her planet, Kree or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was kind of one thing that bothered me. I was like, I don't really care about where you're from, and I don't care that you landed on Earth, and I don't care about your problems, your Kree problems. I don't know. It's bad. Crow and
Yeah.
Silver.
Okay. What did you think of the main character? What did you think of Captain Marvel? Like Carol.
I did like her. She didn't have much personality. She was kind of a flat character. I felt like, but she was okay. She was likable. I guess moves out of order, but you are kind of getting into it out of tone from the movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
Like I said, the space, all the space stuff is kind of some future movies will be referencing areas about this,
Okay.
but we don't actually see a lot of this. So it's kind of this is kind of why I brought it here to kind of sort of be an introduction. So
I
when they
got it.
start mentioning things, you'll be like, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about.
I got you. So in order, it's just been mentioned, but this is the first time you're seeing it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, this would be the first time you're kind of seeing it.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a minor thing. Frankie would not have made this movie better at all. Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm sure it wouldn't have made a difference. And obviously, it didn't make a difference for anybody else, so I'm sure it wouldn't have made me like it or understand it any better.
Yeah. So, like, okay, I would want to bring this up because this is one of these little problems, not problems I have, but I kind of have this kind of trying to understand because there's like an outside issue and an in movie issue, but it's like so with Captain Marvel, a lot of the times, especially the main characters basically keep saying, like, control your emotions, like settle down and all that sort of stuff. It's like, but she doesn't have like that much of like a reaction to much. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't really.
I mean, you could see she's yeah, like I mean, you could tell there's that feisty side to her. I mean, you can see that when they're like in the beginning, they're like she's training with Jude
Yeah.
Law. I don't remember his name of his character, so I just in my notes he's just Jude, something
Jude Law,
Jude,
yeah.
Jude. So, but yeah, like she's just a very flat character. But that scene actually reminded me of when they have those conversations with her. It reminds me of Star Wars.
Yeah.
You must learn to control your feelings.
Yeah. See, that's the thing though. Like,
Non-Rog. Okay.
see, in this movie, it's kind of almost presented as a negative to control your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like. Of course, being Star Wars fans, it's always like, but that's the right thing to do. You
Yeah.
always should be in control of your emotions. So it's kind of this, and I feel like I don't know if I might be reading this wrong, but I feel like this is what there's in the outside influences. This is supposed to be how women have been subjugated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to basically, anytime there's a little bit of an outburst, they basically, control your emotions or something like that.
Yeah.
So I get the intention, but it doesn't feel right or well done with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Carol doesn't really outburst enough for that kind of reaction.
Yeah, I guess we needed to see more of her to really get that. They could have filmed it better. They could have put in more scenes. They had so many freaking flashes. Don't tell me what to do. Just tell me to smile. I'm not going to control my emotions.
So yeah.
But yeah, so so that was that was interesting. So it took me just to kind of I didn't really feel like I understood what was going on, but
Yeah.
So in the beginning, she's having flashbacks to some kind of traumatic event, and then we see that she's like she kind of has these abilities. She glows and explodes and whatever, and we see her training. With
she has powers that not everyone has. Like, apparently she's the only one that has them.
Yeah. Nobody else on her planet has it. From what I her planet, yeah. Nobody else seems to have anything significant. They just seem like, people in suits. So they see, they're training, and again, that reminded me of that whole, Jedi Padawan thing. She meets with the Supreme Intelligence, who is a face who it's supposed to take on the face of someone that she knows, or someone like that she respects, or but she has no idea who this person is. So she has these conversations with them, but she can't place the face. So I thought that was interesting. That was intriguing. And obviously, all right, at some point we're going to find out. And I thought, all right, well, that was cool. The plot itself was really, really interesting. Like, if someone told me about this plot, I'd be like, oh, wow, that sounds good. But again, just not executed well at all.
Yeah.
Who was the director for the movie? Like, who?
I don't know, actually.
I'd be curious. I mean, not that it makes a difference. I'm just curious who, I know Joss Whedon did some of them. Annette Bening.
Annette Bening? Oh. Okay. I don't know that one.
I know that name, but I didn't think she was a director.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard it before.
I mean, I
probably
believe
because of Captain Marvel.
Annette Bening. So she's an actress. Oh, that's the name of the actress who was the. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, yeah, that's Marvel,
right. I was like, I know that name, but I didn't think. I was thinking of something.
So, okay, real quick. A couple of weeks ago, when I mentioned Captain Marvel to you, you said, I can't wait to meet them, or him, or something like that. Did you not know Captain Marvel was, the woman?
I had no idea who Captain Marvel was. I didn't know it was... I just, all the superheroes... Well, not all of them. Not, Black Widow, but, they've all been men, so I'm like, oh, Captain Marvel,
I was wondering, I wonder what your reaction is going to be when you find out that this is females.
So now this is a question I have. So this whole universe is called Marvel. And then here we have this character.
Yeah, Cinematic Universe Marvel.
Okay.
Is what, the comic company is called.
So the company, was there a particular reason why they chose... I don't know if anybody knows this. Is there a particular reason why they chose the name of this character to represent their brand, their company? I
don't know the specifics behind her character.
Couldn't have come first.
I don't know. I think she was originally called Miss Marvel, and then later on she became Captain Marvel. And there's different versions of her, of sorts. But I don't know if she was an original character, like the other.
Oh, maybe she came afterwards and they decided.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And there's also originally, like, also apparently there's another Marvel character. There's actually a character called Captain Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a DC character,
Uh-huh.
and then later they changed his name. That character's name to Shazam.
Oh.
So there's this. I have to like look into it at some point again. But
Okay.
yeah, I remember because I remember when Captain Marvel was announced. I was like, ooh, and then I looked it up and was like, oh, this will. I was actually kind of hyped for this character because I thought, oh, it should be interesting. It's also like this is also the first female solo superhero movie that's for the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh yeah, she looked interesting. But I'll admit, I was not. It didn't feel. I didn't feel like this movie did her justice.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Um, yeah, no, I don't mean that like she represents the brand. I was just wondering like, well, I guess now I don't even know which came first, her or the name. Like, um, the character was created as a reaction to DC creating a Marvel. Okay,
Oh.
all right, interesting. Um, all right, so
What did you think of the scrolls?
the scroll. Those are
The transforming alien
creatures,
guys.
right? Um, they were weird. They were very like if you were to watch an '80s sci-fi movie, I feel like that's what they, the aliens would look like, and you know what I mean.
Look like these goblins, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, kind of goblin looking. Um, they were so they were weird looking. They weren't scary looking.
Yeah.
They were just weird
So
looking.
the main guy was played by Krennic from Rogue One, director Krennic.
Oh, did not know that.
What's his name? Bette Mendelsohn? Is that his name?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's his name. Yeah, like director Krennic.
Apparently Madigan knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is because he plays a lot of very villainous characters in many of his roles, so it's kind of like this is the first role that he doesn't actually have a. He's still kind of got this sinister feel, but he's not a villain in this one.
Right, yeah. So yeah, so she's told that these beings are
The
evil.
bad guys.
They're the bad guys. They're evil. They did all these bad things to people, and they captured one of their spies, if I understand correctly. So then they had to go. They like. Wait, let me make sure I'm not getting movies mixed. No, I'm not getting movies mixed up. So they have to go.
Space.
Yeah, they have to go rescue one of their own. One of their spies.
Yeah.
So so they devise a plan. They go there. And then they're all kidnapped, and she wreaks havoc. Wait, does she have a? I know. So they kidnap her. Does she have flash?
She gets kidnapped. I don't believe the rest do.
Okay.
And then they're probing her memories for Marvel.
Okay,
And
right.
then she escapes and does wreak havoc on their ship.
Yeah. So she starts to have flashbacks. I think that's when she has the flashbacks of her on the plane, like working with a plane or something. So then she breaks out of it and she attacks all of them. And, her powers are so strong, it like blows a hole right through the ship or wherever they are. And, she gets sucked into space.
She gets an escape pod and
right.
crashes onto a planet, which is Earth.
Yes, she lands on top of a Blockbuster Video.
90s.
Yes. And I was like, wow. What's funny when I didn't realize at first what time period it was, so I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, this movie came out in 2019. We still got Blockbuster? I thought they left a long time ago. I was like, what part of the world is this? Blows a hole in a True Lies cutout. Oh yeah, I figured that was significant, but I didn't recognize the what she shoots at. So yeah, so then she makes her way out, and she sees a security officer, security guard sitting in his car, and he's just kind of like looking at her like, she's like, where's your communication equipment?
Yeah.
He,
What planet is this? Like
it,
all. I've always wondered, like, why do
Fifty-three.
like people who space travel, why do they always ask like questions that sometimes obviously some people obviously wouldn't know. Like if they don't know, it's like, okay, this is a primitive planet.
Yeah.
You can't ask these questions.
Ratayev, hello. That kiddo was supposed to be Jim Carrey as the Mask. Oh. Frankie's like, what is a VHS? I'm too young to remember those. Exactly.
They're only 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm so confused right now.
I actually used to buy VHSs so I could record Doctor Who when it would appear on PBS. So I was basically like recording Doctor Who before I could get them on DVDs and such.
That's a very nerdy thing to do. I approve.
It's a great way to pirate.
Yes.
Even today.
So then he sends her over to Radio Shack. Well, towards Radio Shack, and she makes what did she call from a payphone?
Yeah.
She calls.
She makes kind of some adjustments.
Yeah.
Communications, gets a Game Boy and a few things. And then makes the call.
To Jude Law. And she tells him, where she is, what happened. Things like that. And then next thing we know, there's someone knocking on the trying to get her attention. She used the Game Boy. I didn't realize that. And we see Fury, a young Fury, and I was like, oh my god. It was so
funny. Sam Jackson.
It was so funny. So I don't know how they did it, but I mean, this was obviously 2019. He looked so young.
Well, it's definitely gotten impressive from the Tarkin technology. We can now de-age people.
He looked great. Let's see. Is it just me or does Frankie look like Captain Marvel? Thank you, Captain Spike.
But yeah, we got Coulson also came back for a little bit.
Yes, I was so happy to see him. It took me a minute to recognize him. It took me a minute to realize what was going on again. I was still confused a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what time period is this? What point is this going? What's happening here? But then I caught on. So anyway, she tells them where she's from, what's going on, and they're like, from another planet. Yeah, okay. They don't believe her. Space girl. Agent Coulson, the rookie. And
the Skrull attack out of the blue.
Yep, and suddenly, so obviously then they believe her. But yeah, so then I think she goes. She goes after it, and then
she's chasing it.
And then Fury and Coulson get in their car and
chase after her.
Right, chase after her.
Except Coulson isn't Coulson.
Yes, on the ride. So Fury's like, oh, yeah, okay, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. It's gonna be just like that job we did, or that case we had, or whatever it was. And Coulson's like, oh yeah, exactly like that. And
yeah. Well, the other Coulson also, the real Coulson calls.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of the other guy. I'm thinking of the other thing. Never mind.
The director guy.
Yeah. He calls, yeah. And yeah. I see, and I didn't see that coming.
It's like, uh-oh, that's not my Coulson.
Yep. And then
that's not my Phil.
And then they fight. And he escapes. He meets up with. I'm probably missing things.
He crashes and kills the alien in the car.
Right. Okay.
And Marvel punches an old lady.
Oh yeah, so she's trying to find this guy. While she's getting onto the train, she bumps into an old lady or whatever. doesn't think anything of it. She gets on the train, she's looking for people, blah, blah. All of a sudden, she sees this same old
Same old
lady,
lady.
and she's like, wait a minute. And so she, like, punches her, and everyone just kind of looks at her, and, like, someone goes
Yeah.
to, I think someone went to stop her. But then this
Yeah.
little old lady starts, like, kicking her ass, and just, holy crap. So then obviously it's one of those creatures,
Yeah.
they fight. But that Stan Lee cameo, though.
Yeah, we get a. Which, yeah, by the way, you remember the beginning, there was a bunch of Stan Lees in the opening Marvel thing? If that, like, remember?
I don't remember.
Well,
I
this movie
watched
came
it.
out after. This movie came out after Stan Lee's passing,
Oh.
so this was kind of like the first movie to kind of tribute Stan Lee,
Oh, that's kind of sad.
which is kind of why the cameo when like Captain Marvel like pulls down a little comic and there he is like reading and she like gives him a smile.
Oh, okay. Now I remember. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay.
So the Skrull escapes into the crowd.
Mm-hmm. And I think at that point, what's the girl's name? I just keep calling her Marvel.
Carol.
Carol. Okay.
Carol Danvers? Is that it? Yeah, they call like her code name was Veers.
Beard. Oh, okay. Again, my notes, I wrote, she's girl. She's girl throughout all my notes. But I know, at least I know what it means. Okay, so, Danvers.
Yeah.
Okay. He did a cameo in Mallrats. Really love Mallrats. I've never seen that. Danvers. Okay. Oh, got you. Okay. All right, so so Carol and Fury meet,
At a bar.
restaurant, or whatever, and so she has to try and figure out if it's really him. So like he asks her.
Oh, yeah.
She asks him questions.
She gives him 20 questions.
Mm-hmm. Which was fun. The human.
Name something that only that's you, that a Skrull wouldn't know.
Right.
It's like toast is cut diagonally, I can't eat it.
Oh yeah. He was the funniest person in this movie. I mean, he's always funny, but like he was really the only one that was funny, but like really funny. Like I laughed at everything that he like did or said in this movie. Like at the end,
young Nick Fury was fun.
Yeah, I like at the very end when he's singing. I don't remember what he was singing, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
So like as they go through this process, like she points out, she was like, a Skrull only has your most recent memories. They won't be able to remember something from like your past, which proves to be important later on.
And then Fury's like, okay, how do I prove you're not a Skrull? And she just blasts like a juice box.
Oh right.
And how does that help me? That doesn't tell me anything. Like, aliens are all new to me. I don't know if Skrulls can do that.
And like that was surprising to me that like, so like when in the beginning when she's telling him about like when they first meet and she's saying, oh, I'm from another planet, blah blah blah, and he's like laughing it off, and I'm like, is he playing dumb or does he really not know? And I was confused. I was like, is he even in S.H.I.E.L.D. yet? I wasn't, like, that confused me. I was like, shouldn't he know about things from other planets? But I guess...
Yeah, I think this is, like, the first real encounter.
Which I thought was cool, to kind of see his introduction to other planets.
And then he says, and of course he's like, what do your friends call you? Fury. What does your mother call you? Fury. Everyone calls me Fury. Nobody calls me Nicholas.
Yeah. So, all right. So after they figure out, all right, you're who you say you are. He takes her to Project Pegasus. To look for Dr. Wendy. Was it Lawson? Larson? I don't know exactly what her last name was. I could.
Yeah, I think it was Larson or something. They're trying to find her past. Yeah.
Right. Um. So. All right. So they go there. They let them in, but then they take them to this room, and I want to be called Fury. It was Lawson. Okay. So that they get let into Project Pegasus, but then they're brought into this like locked room.
Yeah, that has like a thumb scanner.
Yeah. So, while they're in there, Fury like pages back for backup. And then he realizes, okay, we need Thumbprint to get out of here, so he takes a piece of tape.
He does this whole finicky
thing. This elaborate plan. And I thought it was really cool that this also happened in the Ant-Man, where they had the same. I was like, oh, this is very fitting. Okay. So they uses tape to get the thumbprint off the doorknob, puts it on the scanner, and they get out. So they're looking for the records room. They get to the records room. I don't know, I think he's like ready to pick the lock or whatever, and she just blasts her way in.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you watched me go through all of that before. You couldn't just do that to get us out?
That was my favorite moment. So while I was busy playing with tape, you could have blasted the door. She's like, I didn't want to ruin your moment.
I'm surprised nobody heard them, though. Like, wouldn't somebody hear them? I mean,
I'm sure, like, that must have, like, alerted somebody.
I feel like his plan was better, but, All right, so they get into the records room.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What?
Captain Spike. That's the same building that Loki blew up in the first Avengers, where Loki like gets teleported in.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I didn't realize that. I thought that was somewhere else.
Oh,
that's cool.
Oh, that's right. Before they get locked up, they're in the hangar, and that's where they meet Goose. And when they're in there, they mention who they're looking for.
Fury is like, oh, you're so cute. You're so cute.
Yeah, he made such a big fuss over the cat. I see now. As soon as I see animals in movies, I get nervous. I'm like, if anything happens to this animal, it's an automatic -1 out of 10. So that didn't happen, but
Well, that certainly must have been the points for Ant-Man being deducted.
I will say I fast forwarded through some parts of Ant-Man, so. And I don't want to know what happens. I'd rather not know, but I fast forward. As soon as I saw a cute little furry animal, fast forward. So I missed some stuff in that movie. Anyway. All right, so they get into the records room and they're starting to look through the records, and I guess they're trying to figure out what happened to this Wendy person.
Yeah, they're trying to. Carol finds like her past and stuff, and the scroll director's Fury's backup shows up, but of course the backup isn't all S.H.I.E.L.D. It's some of the scrolls.
Well, wait, when they're in there, is that when they found the Was that when they found her notebook, or was that later on?
I think that's where they found her notebook, and it has like her friend is her co-pilot or something.
Well, yeah, they saw the pictures, and I think she recognized herself in one of the pictures, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think that was also when she found the notebook, and it had like she recognized the Cree writing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh right, yeah, and Fury was like, yeah, she was obviously crazy. She didn't know what she was doing, and she was like, no, this is Cree. This is our language. So, anyway, she looks at the picture. She sees her friend, and I think she also saw a picture of Wendy, right? Was that when she at that point that she saw the picture?
Don't know. Who's Wendy? That's her friend, right?
No, isn't Wendy the doctor? Dr. Wendy. Lawson?
Marvel? Larson? Marvel? That's...
Oh,
okay, yeah.
was I getting them confused?
I think I think you got them right. I've got them confused. Like, I don't really remember the details.
Wendy, she is Marvel. Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little confused because she obviously like different names.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're looking through the records. They see it happened in 1989. Maria, her friend's name was Maria.
Right.
She gave a testimonial. She was the last person to see them alive. Undercover Kree operative.
Yeah, that's when the Kree Fury realizes that his backup isn't what they call Nicholas.
Yeah. Yeah, his backup comes. They're in the elevator together. They're talking, and the guy doesn't really seem to know exactly what he's talking about. He like this was the scene where he was like, oh, it'll be just like, when this happened, and his friend's like
something 84 or something.
Yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, and he just kind of looks at him and like he just like exits the elevator. He just like tries to play dumb, but anyway, so then he realizes his mistake and he goes to look for Carol.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
She takes the pager back from him.
Yeah. You're not doing that anymore.
They sneak onto a plane.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was. I didn't get it at first, but like on their way out, they run into Coulson, but he doesn't give them up.
Yeah. Right.
He lets them. He like pretends he doesn't see them. They're not this way. They must have gone the other way, and so he goes back up, giving them time to escape and figure all this stuff out. Yeah. Oh, there's a little bug on here. Come on now. We're not even talking about Ant-Man yet. All right, I'll just leave him. I don't kill bugs. We'll get into that in Ant-Man. All right. Marvel makes me lose my voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we Goose. I always call him Goose.
Oh, Goose.
Goose stowaways on the jet.
Yeah, which which made me even more nervous. I was like, oh my god, if anything happens, I'm gonna be so upset. But it wasn't, so it was fine. And they go to find Maria. So the last person to see Wendy.
Carol and Wendy, yeah.
Yeah. See them alive. It is water. For real, it is water, I swear. That's just on Fridays. All right. So when they get there, if I remember correctly, Goose is named after one of the guys from Top Gun. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. I think I heard that too.
And so she gets there, and she's greeted by a little girl who calls her by
Auntie Carol.
Auntie Carol, right? Runs up to her, gives her a big hug, and the good little girl's like, "I knew you survived that crash." Anyway,
telling her things that she doesn't remember or understand.
Yeah. And then she's like, I don't think I'm exactly who you think I am. And then the mom comes out, and they greet each other.
They start talking. They start explaining, getting things, figuring out what's happening, trying to understand things.
Yeah.
And then the Kree show up again.
Yep.
Except that's when they reveal they're not totally evil.
Right. They reveal to her, like, everything's not as everything's not as it seems. We're not the bad guys. You were just told that we're the bad guys. And he had the black box from the plane crash.
Right.
And he's like, I think you're going to want to hear this. So.
And it takes a long time to load, as it did.
in the back in the day, back in the 90s.
That's one of my favorite jokes too. It's just because Carol's like got all this advanced technology, and it's just like everyone else is just like, yep, this is daily life. So it's like this is normal.
Oh man.
She's like, what's happening? It's like it's loading. And
um.
then they, yeah.
So then, all right. So then they. So okay, as she's like listening to the black box, we kind of watch all of this unfold. Like we're watching like what really happened as they were telling
Like
the
a
story.
flashback, yeah.
Yeah. Which I was glad they did that. Kind of made it,
Visualize what happened.
Visualize what was going on. Yeah. All right. Let me just catch up on my notes here.
Also, the Skrulls don't like the cat.
Oh yes, they're afraid of the cats, and which is funny. I mean, we later learn about why, but
she picks up the cat. It's like, oh, you don't want this, huh?
Fury's using it as like a defense. So we kind of watch what really goes down, and then like they're doing like I don't know if they're just doing like a standard mission or something or whatever, it was standard run. I don't know. But then they get attacked.
I think it was unauthorized.
It was unauthorized. Okay. And so their ship starts to go down. Somebody starts shooting at their ship. Hold on. And so
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then Wendy starts to just quickly reveals everything to her. I'm not who I say I am. My name is Mar-Vell. I'm from the planet, what is it, Hulu, something?
Hala.
Hala, what is it?
I think it's literally Hala.
Hala, okay. Hala. Sorry, okay. And she said something about like remember the coordinates. That's what I wrote in my notes. Something about remembering the coordinates. And
her original memories had the Skrulls attacking her, but this I think is when she remembers and reveals that it's not the Skrulls that attacked, it was the Kree that attacked her.
Right, the people who had taken her.
Jude Law attacked her.
Yeah, right. And so anyway, eventually her ship goes down, and on some island, I guess somewhere, and she like absorbs all of the what is it, photon power.
She blows up something and it absorbs it into her. That makes her powerful.
Yeah. So, originally, Jude Law was gonna kill her, but then, sorry, I can't remember his name. But he kind of like goes, he's looking at her and he's seeing what's happening, and he's like, you know what, we can use her. Yeah. So they decide to capture her basically, yeah, take her in, but she has, so anyway, and obviously she has no memories after that, so they kind of, I guess, fill her with lies,
Yeah.
The other
and she freaks out kind of with this revelation, trying to figure out who she is, what she's doing.
Yeah. But she agrees to, but she realizes what happens, and she wants to make things right. She wants to help. What are you guys doing in chat?
Talking about cats.
Just like, I'm catching bits and pieces of this, and I'm like, I see cooking fat, food cat. I don't need. Are we changing names? Is this what's happening here?
Cat.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyway.
So then they come to an idea. They make a plan, and they draw the Kree people in while they go up to Wendy's Mar-Vell's secret base.
Her lab. Yeah. Those were the coordinates she had to remember. She told her to follow the coordinates when the plane was crashing, and those were the coordinates, I guess. So they go there. It's like this little ship in space or whatever, and Um, okay. Monica's Monica's the little girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Before they go up into the ship, Monica
Changes her
changes the
outfit.
color. Yeah, changes the outfit, um, which I thought that was cute. It's always cool to find out how the character gets their costume, their colors, or whatever. Um, so they go to the lab and they find the Tesseract there.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, something I understand, something I know.
Which I believe the I think it's explained that the Tesseract is part of what gave Captain Marvel her powers,
Mm-hmm.
her space powers, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah, because she got crazy powerful at the end. I was like,
Yeah.
this doesn't even make sense. but
She's-
but I guess that makes sense.
She has the power of the stone
Yeah,
a little bit, little fraction of it.
yeah. I thought that last scene was like a little over the top.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
it was a little extra when she's just suddenly just so
The OP.
amazing. It was a little too much for me. No, you guys are fine. It's funny.
Yeah. That's kind of a big complaint, is that she's too OP for her own.
Yeah, it was just a bit much. But well, anyway, so I mean, when they get there, they find out that again, I call him the guy. She's the girl, he's the guy.
Jude Law.
No, the other guy, the evil guy. Well, evil guy. His family.
The Skrull.
Skrull. Yes. Is it Skrull or Skrull?
Skrull.
Oh, Skrull. I thought it was Skrull. I was like, oh, that's an odd name. Okay.
It's
Talos.
either or.
Thank
It's
you.
like
kept
Han
this
Han.
up. Yeah. All right. Talos.
Talos, yeah.
We find out his family is there. He's
Yeah.
been hiding them there. So again, we see part of his motivation. He wants to keep his family safe, his people safe. So that was
why Mar-Vell betrayed the Kree,
yeah.
and so
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we get of course the Kree show up, and Marvel has a fight with her former squad mates.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a big fight. All hell breaks loose. She gets crazy powerful. Does lots of crazy things. And, ultimately
She wins.
she wins. She doesn't even kill Jude Law. She just puts him in a ship and sends him back with a message saying...
I do like that ending with her and him. That little, he's like, you come at me with everything you got, or like come at me fair and square, and then she just.
Oh yeah, with
like,
just her hands,
one-shots
and she's like no, and she just blasts him. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. That was a good scene.
Yeah, that was good. Flurk and Flurks. She's not open. She's.
Oh. Yeah, they put a muzzle on the cat.
I
they
know.
got flirkin' muzzles.
The poor cat. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we find out the cat's got is actually like a creature.
It's a real alien.
Yeah, some kind of I guess it had a disguise. You know what? Well,
And it used the Tesseract.
Yeah. At one point, I thought that we were gonna find out that the cat was actually one of the Skrulls, like it had shapeshifted to a cat or something. I don't know. I thought that might happen, but it didn't.
I can't remember. I think they had a conversation. It's like, can you shape form to anything? It's like,
like filing
yeah,
cabinet.
well, but I take it's difficult, and you do need some talent.
That was funny.
It is interesting because I think the Skrulls were in the comics. They were certainly the villain. Like there's this kind of storyline where the Skrulls, where the Skrulls infiltrated Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and of course anybody could have been a Skrull, so you didn't know if the Avengers were Skrulls, if these guys were Skrulls. It was kind of this whole kind of storyline, which was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and here I guess they decided to twist it on us,
Mm-hmm.
and the Skrulls were not the enemy this time.
Isn't I don't watch this show, so I could be a little off base here. Isn't what's that zombie show?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Isn't there? Don't they have a thing where like you don't necessarily know if someone's a zombie or if they're on your side or something, and they have like these questions they have to ask each other to prove
No, I don't think that's.
to prove who they are.
I'm trying to think of a show that has that,
I thought
but
it
it's
was
not Walking Dead. Because Walking Dead, you definitely know who's a zombie or who's going to become a zombie.
what was that show where like they?
But there is a show I think it's similar.
Does anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? The Thing.
The thing. The Thing. That's an '80s horror movie.
No, I could have sworn, again, I don't watch Walking Dead, but I could have sworn someone told me there was something with that show. Okay, and there's a set of questions they ask new people to determine if they would let them join their group.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That must be
right. Yeah, it's not zombie questions, but it is like, are you a good person? Will you be helpful? Sort of something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, so 5 out of 10 for this movie.
See. Fury. Fury trusted the cat, and then he lost an eye.
Yes, we find out how he hurt his eye, which okay. I think that's a little ridiculous. Like, come on, give the guy deserves, I feel like that's just disrespectful to the character. Like, give him, like, okay, maybe you can argue that it's funny, but, like, make it, I just...
Yeah, it honestly should have been a car wreck or something, like something a little more
Hi, Daniel.
dramatic.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised Samuel L. Jackson didn't fight that, unless maybe he liked it, but I felt like he deserved better than that.
Well, I would say this, for you, this probably softens the punch a little more, because for us, it was years before we got this answer. So we all have these theories about what happened to Fury, but it was just like, I don't know, just cat scratch.
They could have made it better.
Yeah. But it is funny. He's not gonna tell people that he lost it to a cat. He's gonna make as many stories as he can up.
Yeah, it makes sense. Oh yeah, and Coulson came in at the end saying, "Oh, I heard you hurt your eye because X, Y, and Z, like something dramatic." And he was like,
"Tortured you." And
yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm not
I cannot confirm or deny."
Yeah. He should have lost his eye covering for Agent Carter or something. Exactly.
Speaking of Agent Carter, beginning of Ant-Man.
That was her?
Yeah, that was Peggy.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, it kind of looks like her, but I can't really tell because obviously they've had her age. But I was like, it sounds like her. The bone structure's the same, but the hair looks really different. So
the hair, she's got some gray now.
Mm-hmm.
She's she's 60 in that in '89.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Howard Stark also is back. We've got a young Michael Douglas.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was cool to see him in this movie.
There's more de-aging.
Yeah.
More de-aging.
Yeah, they did. The movies do a good job with that stuff. So this movie too was again, I like the plot. I think my only issue with it was just the bug part of it. Now, I don't necessarily dislike bugs as a person. I'm big into saving bugs. I don't kill bugs. I do like bugs. However, I don't want to watch bugs on TV. That's just, it's just, I feel like for most people that makes you cringe. Now I realize this is based off a comic, so they have to go by the comic. But
they did make the bugs look cute.
I mean, I guess you could say they weren't too squirmy, but
I'll say Ant-Man is definitely one of my favorites just for its comedy and its effects. Like the whole way Ant-Man gets small, there's a small world and all the things and everything.
Yeah. The way he uses the suit, I thought was really cool. How he gets big and then small and kicks and punches and goes from here to there.
He has the same force even though he's tiny.
Yeah.
So he can
Yeah, I like that. They are ants. People keep them as pets. I don't keep ant farms.
But so yeah, the beginning of the movie we get his getting out of prison initiation. A punch.
Yeah. So yeah, we see him in prison. Duking it out with someone, whatever. We find out he's getting out. His friend picks him up. The three friends. Oh my gosh, they stole the show for me. They were so I was hysterical. They were so funny.
He's like, so how you been, man? It's like, oh, my girlfriend left me, and my mom died, and my dad got deported,
but I got the band. Oh
he's
man,
he's such a good guy.
Yeah. Oh man, and the way when he tells his stories.
Yes, his stories.
It's so funny.
The way they make it lip sync to his speaking. They
were definitely on point with the humor in this movie.
Yeah. Should we switch backgrounds?
Oh, I totally forgot. Yeah. Hold on, y'all.
That way the
dun dun
future
dun. All right. Let's make sure. Okay. You guys. All right. I want to make sure I didn't make the screen go away. Okay. Yes. All right. So So he's like. So I think he. So anyway, the guy. So he what's his name? Scott, right?
Scott Lang, Paul Rudd.
So he tells his friend, like, listen, I'm going straight. I'm not going to get involved in any of that stuff anymore. I have a daughter. I gotta think about that. So I'm
gonna get a job. I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna be fine, man.
Yeah.
But cut to Baskin Robbins.
I love that they had him working at Baskin Robbins. So yeah, we see him there. Anyway, he takes a break, goes talk to his boss, and his boss is like, yeah, we found out about your background. Mad respect for you, love it, but we gotta fire you.
Yeah. Love you sticking to the man.
Yeah.
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
Yeah. Apparently everybody knows that. Yeah, because next scene he goes home to his apartment, with his friend, and told them what happened, and they're all like, yep, Baskin Robbins finds out everything. They always know.
They try to get him into their scheme, their plan, and he's like, nope, I'm not doing that.
He's like, absolutely not. Then he goes to then we get to see him. He goes to like his daughter's birthday party. We get to see her.
His daughter's so cute.
Yeah, she is adorable, and she just like worships him. She loves him. But we
love the little the toy he gives her is like really ridiculous, but she loves it.
This creepy like rabbit doll or something. I don't even know. But she loves it because he gave it to her. So
yeah,
that was sweet. But then we meet the mom. We meet the mom's stepdad.
Sort of stepdad.
I don't know if they were married. Boyfriend, yeah.
Fiance.
So, and obviously, like, neither one of them are really crazy about him, especially the boyfriend or whatever, and who happens to be a cop.
Yeah.
And
like Scott's like he's trying to be good. He's trying to do all this stuff, but he knows he doesn't have the funds.
Yeah, and his ex-wife says, "Listen, you want visitation with your daughter. You have to get a place. You have to get a job. You have to have money. You have to have all these things." And that's what sets him over the edge. And he goes back to his apartment, and he's like, "All right, what's the job?" He's like, "I just want to know. Just tell me, and we'll take it from there." So.
Before all that, we do get the scene with older Michael Douglas, Hank Pym, going back to his research, and we learn about what the research people are doing. That like David Cross and his daughter are doing, which they reveal the Hornet.
The Wasp.
What's it called? Hornet?
What was it? No, Yellow Jacket.
No.
Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, Yellow Jacket. Yeah. So we get basically the Ant-Man, but more weaponized.
Yeah. And Dr. Pin's kind of like horrified, you know. He was like,
Because he didn't want this science to be exploited.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, like from what I gather, like this was something he was researching, and you know we find out his assistant bought him out.
He actually succeeded in his research because he was the original Ant-Man.
Right.
He was the original, yeah. So he couldn't be Ant-Man anymore, but he didn't want this technology to get out, especially like any of the Stark technology or anything, Shield, Hydra, all that stuff.
Now this guy, his assistant, was he in Iron Man? Wasn't he in another Marvel movie? Because he looked real. Unless I'm thinking of another movie, because he looked really familiar.
Cross? You know, the bald guy?
Yeah.
Or no, I don't believe he's been in any before. I think this is the first movie for him. He does look familiar, but yeah, I don't think he's not been in anything before. I believe.
Really? Am I going? Yeah, I was like convinced. I was like, because when I was watching it, and I'm like, he looks so familiar. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Eventually, I'm like, oh, he must have been one of the other Marvel movies. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, I think it was Iron Man. Like, and I was I was convinced. It was the first movie.
No, it was the first Marvel movie with Darren Cross.
Oh, not first.
This is his first movie. He's not been in anything before. Yeah, I know he does look like he has been in something before, Marvel-wise, but yeah, no, this is the first one with this character.
I must have watched something else recently that he was in. This is gonna bother me. No, it was this guy. I gotta. Maybe he reminds me of someone. I have to look this. After the stream, I'm gonna look this up because I was convinced he was an Iron Man.
What's the actor's name again? What's Darren Cross's actor's name again? I heard it recently. I forgot. For nerdy in the future.
Darren Cross.
But yeah.
Played by Corey Stoll.
You probably might be looking up. You're looking up the character, not the Corey
Stoll played.
Corey.
Yeah.
That's who he is. Okay.
I'm just curious. He portrays Darren Cross. Oh wait, you know what? Don't I have to be careful? Does he come up at another point? I don't want to look at spoilers.
I don't. You're safe to look up for him.
Okay. It just says Ant-Man. Oh my god.
Yeah, he might have been in something you've seen recently. I can't. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
All right.
But yeah. So what did you think of? So yeah, what did you think of the villain?
I liked him. I thought he was a good villain. I like it when the villain is just your typical person.
Just evil.
Yeah, just like not like an alien or some kind of weird thing, god from another planet. I don't know, another realm. I didn't see American Dad. Maybe he just reminds me of someone. I don't watch House of Cards.
Oh yeah, and then we have
Watch.
Hope.
He was like on the Golden Girls or something. Sorry.
So yeah, we also have Hope, his daughter, Hank's daughter.
Mm-hmm. I liked her. I like her because
she's really nice.
She's smart. She's feisty. She stands up for herself. She's not a damsel in distress. I like her. I like her.
Yeah, she's really good character. One of my favorites.
Yeah, she was good, and I liked how they didn't play up their relationship. Like it wasn't it wasn't like romance wasn't part of the movie. Like, I like how you don't find out there's anything between them until the very end.
Yeah, it's like they've known each other for a couple of months training, but only real thing, like, they're starting to show feelings, but really, it's kind of like Iron Man, Pepper situations.
Yeah,
like they're
it's
just
very subtle. And personally, I like movies like that. Numbers. I've seen a couple episodes of Numbers.
I remember that show.
It was too disturbing for me, so I didn't watch it like a lot, but like every now and then. So maybe from there, but it was recent. I'm telling you, it was recent. Yeah, personally, like when I watch a movie, I like it when the relationship isn't like in your face, where it's just very, very like just subtle.
Subtle. But it's still there.
But it's still there, but it's subtle. I don't like, in your face, dramatic love story.
We want the Han and Leia, not the Anakin and Padme.
Yes, that is a good way to put it. And she's got great hair too. I hope. I like her haircut.
Yeah.
All right. So the job.
Yeah, the job.
The job is, all he knows is like, all right, you just got to break in. There's this really rich guy. You got to break into his house, and just
old man have safe.
Yes.
Like that whole story that Louise basically explains in 4 words.
Yeah.
Plus he's out for a week.
And this may have been really stupid of me, but I did not realize that it was going to be his house, Pin's house. I did not put that together. I figured his actions were being observed. Like, I thought it was more so to see, is he smart enough to do the job? Like, is he strong enough? Like,
that is...
Which is kind of part of it, but I didn't think it was, like, his house. So, like, I didn't put that together until we watch.
He used his house as an experiment.
Yeah. So he
breaks... We get to see Scott's ingenuity.
Yeah, we get to
see
how good he is, like, breaking into the house. Breaking down the safe. The safe part was cool. Like, so he gets to the first part, which I think that's when they do the thumb.
Yeah, there's the thumb safe door, and then there's the other door behind it.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool with how he got the door open with the nitrogen or whatever. Like, oh, that's smart. I was like, but I mean, you can't hide that. You can't put that back together. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, he's gonna know his house was broken into sooner rather than later. I don't think most people figured that out till they saw the suit. Okay. Remember the Titanic? Oh, yeah. They mentioned that.
It's like, killed DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Killed him. Don't kill the old lady.
She was still alive. She threw the necklace over the ship.
And, so when they break in, and also, I gotta say, I really love Ant-Man's theme. It's one of my favorite themes. It's just that little, subtle, like, sneaky, like, it's that little
I didn't notice that.
bit. But it also gets more epic as he gets more superhero.
Mm-hmm.
But inside the safe is the suit.
So he finds the suit. He tells the guys there's nothing in here. There's just garbage, whatever. There was no money, nothing. And then they leave. And
he takes the suit with him.
Well, we don't find that out until he gets back to the apartment. And we see him put the suit on, and he's just kind of like messing around with it, which I thought was I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird that he took the suit. Like, a real thief, if they're breaking in, I don't know. I'm not a thief, so I can't really say. But why would you take the suit?
Careful, nerdy. They're recording.
Why take this? Like, I guess he just assumed, okay, well, this has to be something of value.
Yeah.
Sell it on eBay? I don't know. But,
It is an interesting, like, way it's like, well, why would you take this?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing to you, but at the same time, it's like, I guess there was probably something of value. I mean, he's already broken in, he might as well take something.
Yeah.
And I guess when he was, he messes with gadgets and stuff, so I guess he tried to, like, when he was looking at the suit later on, he's like, okay, what is this thing?
Yeah, he starts messing around with it. And then, next thing...
go ahead.
I was saying the next thing he knows, like, he presses a button on the hands and he gets small.
in the first Ant-Man scene.
Yeah. And this immediately took me back to the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which I
Yeah.
hated. I hated. Like, I know a lot of people love that movie. I hated that movie.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. It was, to me, that's just very unnerving, being that small. You know, like you're not in control. Everything's big. Like you don't have the high ground. There's just no. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Brinky fences are selling stuff on eBay. Yeah. So and yeah. Anyway, that's what that reminded me of. But and at that point in time, he hears Dr. Pin's voice in his ear. He doesn't know who Dr. Pin is or anything like that yet, but
so yeah, Hank's explaining to him what he needs to do, or at least that, you know, what's happening, kind of, and that you need to, you know, you gotta learn fast because there's water coming.
Yeah. So he tries to mess around with it, and he ends up like falling through like the floor, like to like a club,
a dance party.
Yeah. And then someone's living room with the vacuum, and it was just like, which I guess is cool to kind of show everybody that. But oh, it was Prim. I thought it was Pin.
Yeah, it's Pim. Prim. Yeah,
well,
is it Prim?
Oh, there's no R. Pim, Pymm. I had it with an N-I-N.
Yeah.
In my notes, because I don't know how to spell it.
Huh. But yeah, Hank, basically.
Hank, that's gonna be easier. I'm trying to remember what happened after that.
He runs away, runs from a mouse, jumps through a window, lands on the roof of a taxi, realizes, nope, I don't want to be a part of this, and runs all the way back, puts everything back.
Returns the suit and then gets arrested.
Yeah.
We later find out that it was Hope who called the police.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't steal anything. I'm just returning something I stole.
And he's like, oh crap, shouldn't have said that.
And yeah, so he's in jail, and
his lawyer.
And the stepdad fiance's also kind of like disappointed in him.
Yeah. But he ends up in jail.
Lawyer.
His lawyer shows up, which is Hank. I'm gonna go with Hank.
Hank Pym.
And you know, he talks to him for a bit, telling him, I guess, what went down. I don't remember what he says to him exactly, but
means that he has a choice. That he's going to either, you know, it's either, you know, back to prison or help me out.
Yeah. So anyway, so he leaves him to think about it, and he left him the suit, I think.
He sneaks the suit in
Small.
With the ants.
Right.
Yeah. And this is why one big nitpick is, so he's got 10 seconds, but he puts on a suit in less than 10 seconds. How do you put on a suit like that in less than 10 seconds?
That's true. I didn't think about that.
And then he's got like 4 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those. They should have given him like more time for it to be believable.
That's a good point.
That's just one of my nitpicks.
Yeah. So the ants the ants start the countdown, like they're forming the numbers. And at first I didn't realize that's what they were doing. I was like, is this a code? Like, is this gonna, you know, come in handy at some point? I didn't realize what was happening. How it should have ended brought that issue up to.
Oh, I don't see that one yet. I'll have to look that one up.
Oh, that's funny. So anyway, he puts the suit on and he escapes. And, you know, they find out, they sound the alarm, where did he go, blah, blah, blah.
He's tiny, running around,
mm-hmm.
Gets under the door, and then there's these ants, they greet him.
Yeah. They, the main ant.
Antony.
Well, he ends up calling Antony, but it initially had a number, if I remember correctly.
247?
Yeah.
246?
you know.
Do you know how many ants there are? I can't give them names.
So he rides him. They end up on a cop car, and then they fly or whatever. Long story short, they end up back at Hank's house, and
Hope's there watching him sleep.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm just watching you to make sure you don't go anywhere.
She's not happy with him.
And she's like, the ants are there to make sure you don't go anywhere. So anyway, he makes his way over the ants. He goes downstairs and he talks to Dr. Pym.
Yeah.
Hank.
Yeah. Talks to Hank Pym. They explain the situation, kind of. Hope explains that she doesn't like this situation. She wants to be in charge of the suit, or at least do the job. Hank, says, I need you, and I need to train you, and the ants, and everything. And Scott's just got a million questions.
Yeah. But, and Hope is adamant that she should be the one to do all of this, because she knows the layout better, she knows how to...
She's the inside. She's on the inside.
Yeah. 10 ants. She's not okay with Hank picking him at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they start to train him.
Yeah.
How to use his suit, how to communicate with the ants, martial arts, all like the whole shebang.
They also explain the situation to him. He's like, okay, first thing we should do is call the Avengers.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Like, this is an Avengers level situation. It's like, no, we're keeping them out of this. we can't bog the movie down. We can only afford one Avenger.
Yeah. It's only a joke, I know. It was a funny one. If I tied, it was a funny one. All right. All right. Okay, starts training. At one point, Hope...
Go ahead.
I know, at one point, Hope and her dad get into a big fight over her doing this, as opposed to him, and she storms out and leaves. He convinces her to stay.
He explains to her that it's like he cares about you a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to lose you. Like he is just some guy.
Yeah.
Like for the job, he's not. Yeah, he doesn't want to lose. Like he lost his wife.
Right. Yeah. At
their mother.
That conversation, she reveals like her mother had died.
Which is a really good scene. I really like the acting in that.
Yeah. Yeah. And when they go back in, like, Hank reveals to both of them, like, what really happened with her mother.
Yeah.
Explaining how they were on a mission, they were trying to stop a missile or something, and she had to go subatomic to get inside.
Keep going small, just keep going smaller to get to the functions to stop the missile and put it out of working condition.
But she couldn't come out of that.
Yeah, she didn't have the ability to reverse the effect.
Right.
So,
as far as we know, because I was the one. Now again, I haven't seen all the Marvel movies, so I was like, oh, does she come back at some point? Like, is it That's what I was wondering.
Scott came back, so...
Right, which maybe she can, or maybe she did, and I don't know. Just putting it out there. But, yeah, so, that scene was really sad.
So, So, then Ant-Man kind of like, this is awesome. You're healing. It's like,
yeah.
He's like, I ruined the moment.
It's like, yeah, you did. Stop speculating. I can't. My first, well, it wasn't a speculation. I was going to say when I got upset in Captain America, when we don't see Agent Carter at the end, I was like, That was a stupid way to end the movie. They should have ended it with him immediately going to look for her. She should be an old lady at this point. She could like be on her deathbed or something, and blah 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 blah. And I get it a couple movies later. So
Yeah. They didn't forget about you. They just didn't have time to give it to you yet.
yeah, at first I was disappointed, but once I saw that movie and saw that they had that scene, I was like, oh, I like that it was well placed. It was well placed in that movie. So.
Yeah. We also get Ant-Man training with the ants.
Yes.
Like, we get the big ants, we get the little tiny ants, we get the crafty ants.
Mm-hmm. And he's getting better at communicating with them.
He has the little earpiece that helps him, control them, guide them.
Mm-hmm. Pelicans is roof. Introduce himself.
Oh, and then his first mission is.
I'm like trying to understand. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, his first mission is to infiltrate a Stark base.
Yes.
But it's not a Stark base.
Yeah, it's Avengers.
It's that base from Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, which I thought that was cool how they added that in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, so they tell him to go back. He's like, no, I got this. So he lands on the roof, and Pelican meets him there. He's like, who are you? Did I get the name right?
Sorry. No, it's Falcon. You said Pelican?
Listen, I go based off my notes. I wrote Pelican.
Sorry. That's okay. That's just, wow.
I listen and I write really fast, and it came out. And I knew. Stop it. When I watched The Avengers, I knew it was Falcon, but I forgot, and I thought I heard Pelican, and I wrote Pelican. And I realized it makes no sense, okay?
Millennium Pelican. Okay. Alright, yeah. It's okay. You'll know the name. You'll remember this. It takes a few rewatches.
Pelican.
Oh my god. Every time Falcon comes back, I'm gonna remember this.
Oh, Millennium Pelican.
Oh,
I'll hand my nerd card back in. Madigan's trying to defend me, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody take a deep breath. Delete the stream. Start over. No. Oh God, no. I have no voice left. All right. Falcon.
So yeah, we meet Falcon, and Ant-Man meets Falcon, and just upright, it's like, he can't see me. I can see you. It's like, he can see me. Just reveals his identity. It's like, I'm Scott.
Pelican is a symbol of love and sacrifice. So thank you, Steve. Yes, maybe that's what I was going for. Yeah, so they fight. He goes from small to big, blah blah blah. Anyway, he goes and explodes.
Battles an Avenger.
Yeah, and wins, and he's very proud of that. He goes and explodes his jetpack thing or whatever.
Kind of unplugs a few things.
Yeah, and it no longer
gets
works.
The technology that he wanted Hank for him to steal.
Yes, he got that, and he goes back and he's gloating about the fact that he beat an Avenger. Okay, and so then he comes back, blah blah blah. They're taking this and running with it. NDC, hello, how are you? Welcome back. The Pelican costume. That would be a funny costume.
That's the best thing. It's okay. You've made me laugh.
Well, you know what? Maybe he should be a new Avenger, okay? Maybe.
The Pelican.
Maybe I came up with a new one. if they come out with a new superhero called the Pelican, I want money. Doing good, DC. How are you?
You know what? we should work on Nerdy's comic, The Pelican Hero.
We have a lot of artists in this group.
Pitch it to Marvel.
Yeah.
Get a new superhero.
You guys.
Maybe one day we'll get into the MCU.
As long as Pelican looks like me, do with it what you will. What hero does Frankie remind everyone of? I know, the Pelican. Oh God.
This you're probably gonna live this down. It's gonna be this is yours. You made this.
Oh, guys, remember that one time I called Falcon the Pelican? We've created a new meme now. Oh gosh. Okay. So anyway, Frankie's like, there's so many characters. It's just busting your chops. No, I know. No, it is funny. It's funny. Oh God.
Whew, okay. Back to Ant-Man. Back to the real Back to the real heroes movie.
Oh. Okay. So then,
Aaron Cross shows up.
Yes, he shows up.
Movie gets serious.
And so they all have to hide. I don't know their names. Scott. He's like, oh my gosh, the plans are in there. We have to hide the plans. So he goes into all like ant mode, and
he makes the ants move stuff out of the way.
Oh, is that what he did? Okay, so he manipulates the ants to they roll up the plans or scroll whatever, so he doesn't see it. And anyway, so he invites Hank to come to his event and the release of this stuff or whatever, what he created, the Yellow Jacket.
He wants Hank to be there for the showcase.
Yeah, the big moment. Agent Pelican. Agent Pelican sounds good. I like it.
Yeah.
And so
you can just stop referencing. It makes me laugh.
All right, so then they plan how they're going. So they're like, okay, we have to act fast. We have to get in there. How are we gonna get in there? We're gonna go in through the water main or something.
We need help. Yeah, because the water mains are our way in. But we need help getting in because Hank's gonna be busy and Hope's gonna be busy. So we need some other people on the outside.
So they call in the three friends. The three friends who the only backup they could get. So so they come in with their van. They got the two guys in the van. One of them goes in as undercover as a security guard or whatever.
Security guard, yeah.
And
he's like, hey, I should do something like
whistle.
I should whistle, right? Yeah, so I should do something not draw myself attention. It's like, no, it's nothing. No, stop that. Like he just wants to be a little extra with his security duties.
So he whistles "It's a Small World," and and then
I realized I was like, oh, they got a Disney song.
Yeah. The song was fitting, and
Ant-Man is the first Disney is the first Marvel musical.
There you go. And while he's going in to I guess to shut the water off.
Turn the pressure down a little bit, yeah.
He runs into someone who works there, and he's like, who are you? And he's like, the boss man. He told me to come in here and make sure everything is okay. He's like,
yeah.
I'm the boss man. And
then he just knocks him right out.
Knocks him out.
Yeah, which some people were like, how can he knock that big guy out? It's like he knocked the guy in prison out. He's like the only guy who's ever done that, so he clearly can punch.
Yeah. They were key to the plan working. This is true, but they were also kind of the giveaway for.
They were a good distraction.
They were a giveaway for Scott being.
When Hank was like the two cops were trying to stop Hank, so one of the guys took the cop car to distract the cops.
Yeah.
um, and then comes back, is all excited, and accidentally honks the horn,
Mm-hmm.
which is something the cop has heard before.
Yeah. When Scott was at his daughter's birthday party, he honked the horn to say goodbye, and we heard the horn. Oh, gotcha. Yes. All right, getting down to my last bit of water here.
So yeah. Oh, so here's this really funny thing that I noticed the first time I saw the movie. I just can't get it out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But when they talk about the plan with sending Scott down into the little pipe and retrieving the yellow jacket,
Mm-hmm.
and then all that whole plan. The schematic, the whole plan looks like the Death Star plan when they do the little the vent when it goes down. It's kind of like the same shape and everything.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's always just like the same designs, like the same kind of shapes, like this little vent and going down to the center.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't. You know what? I didn't even pick up on that. That's fine.
I don't know if it was meant to be like that, but it was just like, oh, that's really close. You okay?
Yeah, sorry. No, I don't want to update right now. It literally took me out of YouTube and brought me to that. Okay, I'm back. Rude. All right. So yeah. So basically, he makes his way down, and he's about to grab the.
He's got his ants all spread out and set up
Yeah.
in their positions. He's got just explosives in one area. He's got electrical shutdown ants in another area.
Mhm.
I love all the little technology that they give the ants.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah, they proved to be very, very handy. The ants. They played a critical role, which I thought was kind of cool.
I also love that. That's one of my favorite jokes. It's like, hey, do you want some sugar with your tea? And then the little ants bring it. It's like, nah.
Oh yeah.
And then,
So anyway, so he finally makes his way there, and goes down, and he's about to grab
it.
and he gets shut in there.
Yeah. They trapped him.
Yeah.
And
So, yeah. So he traps him. He what's his face?
Darren Cross.
Yeah, realizes he knows he's there. He knew that they were gonna do something.
He starts explaining everything.
Yeah.
He's like, so there's here's Scott Lang. He disappeared out of nowhere. So this is where he is. It's
Mhm.
here's you. He's basically explaining their plan to them.
Yeah.
Because he knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Hydra shows up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know them.
Yeah. Again, it's so cool. We're getting
Antibodies.
even. Yeah. It's we have Hydra. They're not what they are. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. They're doing great things. Great things.
They're doing great things for me because I'm evil.
Yeah. So and then, anyway, he busts out of the little confine. Oh wait, no wait. They fight. So.
There's a standoff. Hope reveals that she's not working with him.
Right. She pulls a gun. They all pull guns.
Ant-Man pulls out his two giant frisbees,
Mhm.
things that make things bigger. Okay.
Sorry, if I talk too long, my voice starts to go.
Yeah. But that's what helps him break out.
Yeah.
And get another Ant-Man fight.
Yeah. So they fight. Hank gets shot and goes down.
Yeah. Luckily, he doesn't die. I'm glad
He doesn't
that
die. I was glad. Yeah, he doesn't die. I actually thought for sure at some point he was going to, but he didn't. So then.
They send Ant-Man goes and fights more of the security guards.
Mhm.
We get some more really cool shots of his action.
Yeah.
You see, seeing a little tiny thing just pulling people around,
Mhm.
punching.
Yeah, he's Oh no,
Yeah.
it's okay. I have a little bit left. I should be all right. um, they another cool, fight scene, escape scene, whatever. But they end up making their way
To the roof.
Okay, to the roof. I don't remember that.
The windows, the wall.
And I know at some point they end up back at. I may have skipped stuff. They end up back at
The house.
The house. I don't
Well,
remember.
yeah, we get the helicopter scene, and we get Antony's death.
I know I fast forwarded through some scenes with the sheep, but I don't think that would have been then.
No,
I don't remember
this
that.
was much later.
Yeah, I don't remember
This
that.
is at the final battle.
Okay, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember
like
that
the-
helicopter.
Ant-Man goes after Darren Cross with the
Oh,
helicopter,
now I remember.
And
it.
Antony-
Okay.
and Antony dies.
Oh my gosh, when you see the wing just like fall, and
Yeah.
it's like, you're gonna pay for that. Oh my gosh,
Like-
that was
Yeah,
very sad.
It's like they made the ant death sad. It's just so-
You should all feel bad about killing bugs. You should never kill bugs. I'm anti-bug killing. I don't care what kind of bug it is.
Even bed bugs?
Aren't bugs so small you can't see them?
No, they're big.
They're big. Oh, I never come across one. But no, I find bug. I scoop it up, bring it outside.
Yeah.
Just saying. There's your lesson of peace for the day. All right, helicopter scene.
Ant-Man gets inside. There's a fight,
They land in
and
the pool.
Cross puts on the yellow jacket suit
Oh, right.
that fires Star Wars AT-AT lasers.
Yeah, and they end up falling out of the plane, or the plane blows up, or helicopter, whatever.
They get in a suitcase and start battling inside the suitcase.
Oh yeah, that too. That was cool. And then they land in the pool. Or was
Yeah.
it- okay. And they bust out. I guess they're big again, and
They have a quick little fight,
yeah.
and Ant-Man just knocks him into a bug zapper.
Right. And at that point, he gets arrested.
Yeah.
By the ex-wife's boyfriend, husband, whoever. And
Yeah, the cop. The cop fiance.
the cop guy.
I can't remember his name, the character's name.
Yeah, I don't think I got it either. But anyway, he escapes the cop car. He shrinks. Battling to the cure. Oh yeah, that was funny with the phone.
Yeah.
That was funny. Oh, Paxton was the guy's name?
Okay, yeah. The character.
Okay.
Yeah, so Scott's arrested. He's in the back of the car, and they're arguing about what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they get a call that the house is under attack.
Yeah. Right. And so then he escapes. He becomes small. He goes to, save his daughter.
Yeah.
And
They have a fun little fight on a Thomas the Tank Engine.
that whole scene, I gotta say, was cool.
Yeah.
Like the train getting big. The ant. I felt so bad for the ant. He was probably like, I'm pathetic, but I'm like, oh my god, the poor ant. He's probably so scared. And I was like, I hope they don't kill him. I started like getting, nervous, but I was glad he survived and kept him as a pet.
Yeah. I love how they just make everything seem like sometimes it's how ridiculous it looks from normal size, but how it looks so epic from the bug size.
Yeah. And I forgot about the really cool part when Hope and Hank escaped.
The tank.
With the tank, he had it like on a little keychain. I was like, oh, that was really cool. That was awesome.
It's not a keychain.
Yeah.
I shrunk a tank like 60 years ago and kept it.
That was funny. And
then Louise is like, he's about to get arrested. He's like, there's a tank. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
then of course they arrive at Scott's house and like there's all these cops like, nope, back it up, just back it up,
Yeah.
let's back it up, just back it up.
But yeah, so then what's his name? Scott and Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket, they fight. Things are getting big, whatever. He realizes in order to
Get inside.
to stop him,
Yes.
he can go subatomic and go inside and destroy it or whatever.
So yeah, he basically shrinks, goes inside, starts breaking everything that would cause the suit to function,
Hmm.
and kills Darren Cross.
Yeah, he just kind of like disappears into nothingness.
Yeah, and Ant-Man keeps getting smaller, and we get probably one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
Is just seeing the effects of everything
Hmm.
getting bigger around him and the dimensions and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool. I liked how they did that scene, and while that's happening, he's like having the memory of when Hank was telling him what happened to his wife. How he just kind of like how there's like nothing there. I don't remember exactly.
We get an explanation of what's going on.
Yeah. But then he realizes he has one of these the little discs that makes things bigger.
He figures, okay, let's just put this in the little regulator and see if this works, and thankfully it does.
Yeah. He was told earlier in the movie not to mess with that, so he didn't. Right, because that would, do something.
That could
the quantum realm.
That could basically, make him go subatomic accidentally.
Yeah. But anyway, so it worked and it brought him back, and he's
so he gets out. Everybody gets prepared. Settles down basically. Everything kind of settles down.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Hope start something together.
They're caught kissing by Hank, and he tries to blame it all on her, and Hank's like, yeah, no, I'm not buying that. That was a funny scene. And then we see him in the end having dinner with his daughter and his ex-wife and the boyfriend, husband, or whatever, and who turns out to be a really nice guy, and he makes sure that he gets off, doesn't have to go back to jail or anything like that. It's kind of bullshit. Yeah.
I do like that the fiance cop guys actually like survived and was nice.
Yeah.
And like okay, so they start to kind of form an awkward family relationship.
Right. They're all on good terms, and
and Cassie now has a pet ant.
Pet ant. He was under the table and she was feeding him, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. That made me happy. And
then Scott gets a call from Louise, and Louise explains in his own way.
And we see Stanley as the bartender.
Crazy stupid guy.
Yeah.
That Ant-Man is on the Avengers recruit list.
Yep. He's on the list. He's one of the cool kids now. Yeah. And that was the end.
Yep.
And so I mean, upon reflection, I would, I feel like I do like Ant-Man. Like it was good.
Yeah.
Not as good as the other ones, but
it's its own origin movie. It's a new origin movie, and it's kind of got kind of small scale situations. It's a heist movie in a way.
Oh, I meant to say that when they were planning when they were planning how they were going to break into Hank's house in the beginning.
Yeah.
That whole scene when they were like plotting and actually breaking into everything, it reminded me of Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
It had that kind of vibe to it. Obviously not as drawn out. That was a whole movie. This was 5 minutes, but it had that same feeling to it.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite Marvel movies. It's in my top 10. Ant-Man.
I don't know if I want to give it a 7. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
You have to see the others. We'll do the Marvel ranking in the future.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
So yeah, that was Captain Marvel and Ant-Man.
Yeah, so Ant-Man was definitely the better of the two. Captain Marvel could have been better. They,
has good moments, but yeah.
It should have just
and
been
now,
differently. What's next?
And now we have a movie that I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for. We have Guardians of the Galaxy next.
Yay! I've been excited. I'm do it for the Pelican. I've been excited to watch Guardians of the Galaxy for a while. I was told not to watch the end credits, which
so Ant-Man. So you saw the Ant-Man credits, which is fine.
Oh yeah.
Which has Hope getting.
Oh, the
Wait, did you watch the mid credits? The mid credits for Ant-Man.
I just watched the mid credits. I didn't watch the.
Wait, mid credits? You just saw Ant-Man's mid credits?
Yeah.
Okay, Ant-Man's mid credits is fine. It's the where Hope gets her
the
wasp suit.
The wasp suit, yeah, which was pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Okay. The end credits is fine. You don't have to worry about the end credits for Ant-Man. It's kind of a clip for a future movie that you'll see anyway.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I didn't watch that. 9 out of 10. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So next week, Guardians.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, I'm excited to check that out because that I've heard a lot about. Like I don't know anything about it, but like I've heard it referenced. I've seen the characters. I watched Daniel here play it once or twice.
I will say games. This is kind of why Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of why I pulled Captain Marvel back. There are a lot of references to what happened with not with Captain Marvel, but Captain Marvel has a lot of things that Guardians of the Galaxy kind of moreover explains.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, it will be interesting to see what you think of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp were in the original Avengers in the comics. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting. Okay.
Anything else?
No, I'm good. Yeah, no. So these two were interesting. But I'm excited to move on to the next and yeah. So Guardians Off-World, what starts on Earth with a prologue. Oh, okay. Just wait for you. Okay. Well, thank you guys as always for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Thank you for appreciating my errors and my, I'm glad we can all laugh about it.
You made people laugh.
Well, listen, I would rather we laugh about it than y'all be like super mean.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be
this
like
loser,
that.
like, psh, who's this girl?
Does this girl know nothing about being nerdy?
I know, right? Pelicans unite. Oh my gosh, that's what we should call ourselves. We should just all call ourselves the Pelicans. We're gonna have that as a rank on Discord.
That's the Discord.
Who wants the Pelican rank? You have to be in the club.
Are you a youngling Pelican or a like you said, fledgling or younglings?
Oh God, we're gonna have to run with this. This could be fun. Okay, I'm open to ideas.
Agent Pelican.
Agent Pelican. I want that name. That Agent Pelican. We got artists. You guys start drawing that.
Frankie Pelican. That's your full name.
Frankie Pelican. I like that. I don't have a on camera last name. Pelican 1. Oh, I like it.
That's our squad. Pelicans.
Oh my gosh, this could be a good thing. This could be fun. Okay, Pelican 1. I like that.
Yes.
When I do squadrons, that'll be my name. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you guys haven't already, please check out Inspector's channel. Give him a follow. He's got great stuff on there, doing a lot of streaming, reactions and stuff like that. So, thank you guys for hanging out. We will catch you all next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Everybody be happy, be healthy, and we will see you all soon.
Take care. See you there.
Beetle Blast me